Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi. You are watching MNT News Network. Today is Sunday, and every Sunday we have discussion in English. So again, very important topic today we are going to discuss. The topic is on the screen. Without true education awareness, the indigenous Bahujan society is blind, and without organization, it is weak. It's very, very important. We have a eminent speaker today, Mulnivasi Ashish Jivna sir, is a director MNT News Network. We will be discussing this topic with him in more detail, but the topic itself is that is true education and awareness. That is the one topic, and then the organization. So these two topics we will be discussing here for the Bahujan Mulnivasi Society, Indigenous Bahujan Society. So let us invite today's speaker on the screen and let us have a warm welcome, and then we will indulge into the discussing the more topic in detail. Sir, very, very warm welcome to you, Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi.
Jai Bhim, Jai Nivasi sir. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
Sir, as the topic is today, without true education, awareness, the indigenous Bahujan society is blind, and without organization, it is weak. First of all, I would like to know from you that how this topic is relevant. Is this topic is a hot topic for discussion, or why do we want to why the MNT has brought this topic in your view? How the MNT news network thinks that this topic need to be discussed into the society, and it should be spread into the society so that So first, let us know that how this topic is so relevant in this current scenario.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kumar Sanjay. Basically, if we see the current scenario today, what we can see is that because before the independence, if we see, we were not having any educational rights, or our people were not getting educated. But now, after if we see the era after getting the independence independence and getting the educational rights, today we have more number of people from the Mulnivasi Bahujan society who have taken the education, and they are in the mainstream of the society. So basically, if we see the era before independence and after independence, before independence, since we were not having the education as a right to us, there were many problems. But now, if there are sufficient number of educated people from the same society, then the problem should have become less. But if we see practicality in today, we can see that it is not like that. Though we had got the educational rights, still the Mulnivasi Bahujan society, the problems of Mulnivasi Bahujan society are increasing day by day rather than decreasing day by day. So basically, it's time to think why it is happening so. Because once the education is there, the problem should have been resolved. But even after getting the education, problems are not getting resolved. So there must be some problems. There must be some behind reasons of this, and definitely if we consider this scenario, then this topic is much relevant in today's condition, and that's why I think it's necessary of time to discuss this particular topics.
Okay, so you think that is still a very relevant topic. Okay, we will see that how it is relevant. The first part of this subject is true education awareness. Yeah, I'm not sure what is the true education awareness, because the lot of indigenous people, they have got the education, they reach to the foreign countries, they are taking the education even in the, although it's a not very large number in terms of the percentage, yeah, but still in numbers it is still very good numbers. Many people have reached to the either European countries, UK, and you go to the any country, you will find that Mulnivasi Bahujans are there. They have got jobs, they are very good positions, they have got they have done the PhD, they are doing the research work, so they have reached even in the NASA, they have reached. So there is a good number of indigenous peoples, they have reached to the good places. But the thing is that what is the first term is talking about the true education and awareness. What is the education awareness that is meant for?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, to get more clarity on these particular words, education and awareness, let us try to first dig it out. What these two words means. First,
Hmm.
if we see the word education, what does exactly the education means? If we, in a simple layman's terminology or understanding, his understanding is that normally we are going to school colleges, and there we are taught the syllabus, particular syllabus, and normally we give the exam and we pass the exam and we get educated, and once we get educated we look for some jobs and get settled. So this is a common
Hmm.
man's understanding about the education. So it
Okay.
refers to a structured process of acquiring knowledge, but if we see, it is just a theoretical means whatever
Hmm.
the book says, that books we study, and from the books only the questions are appearing, and from the books only we are answering the questions, and that's how we are getting the educated and we are getting the jobs. So
Okay.
basically, education, it aims to equip individuals with the minimum tools that are necessary for the personal or the professional success. So it is solely related to the personal and professional success, because if anybody wants to get some good job in engineering, he has to particular do the courses related to his field. Similar is for all other fields like doctor or lawyer or anything is, but
Hmm.
solely everything is related with the personal and professional success. Mean it is related to the individual. So
Okay.
education, if we see as a whole overall process or overall system, education, when we are taking the education or education itself, the aim of the education, it tells that, or it gives the feeling to every individual who is getting educated, and that there is no discrimination between the students, or there is no place for discrimination, and everybody who is taking the education, every child is free to get or acquire the knowledge that is being taught within the through the educational system or syllabus. So it does not specifically talk about discrimination, but when we come to the society, we feel that the same people who are getting the education which basically talks of non-discrimination, but when it comes to society, we see everywhere the education, everywhere the discrimination. So basically,
Mhm.
whatever has been taught, or whatever is in knowledge the people are acquiring through the education, in practicality, we see that it is not getting implemented when it comes to the society. But as far as the individual is concerned, they are getting the benefit of that one, or they are getting the thinking in that particular direction. So this is
Hmm.
basically with respect to education. If we see with respect to awareness, basically there is slight difference between the education and awareness, though they are interconnected concepts, but
Mhm.
significantly there is a difference between the definition process and the outcomes. So if we
Hmm.
see the awareness, what does it exactly means? Awareness is basically a state of being conscious or informed about a particular issue or a situation or a subject. Basically, when we are taking education, the thinking power of individual gets developed, because if we differentiate between the educated and the uneducated person, so the basic difference between the educated and the illiterate person is in the development of thinking power. Once a
Mhm.
person is getting educated, his thinking power, his analytical thinking skills, it gets developed. And if we see with respect to the illiterate person, he this power, specific power of thinking or analyzing the situation or differentiating the situation, this is lacking in the illiterate person. So awareness is basically he is aware of particular subject, or he is aware of particular situation that is getting developed in the society. So awareness is usually focused on specific issues or topics, such as there can be the health awareness, there can be the social awareness, there can be the political awareness. So one has basically adequate information, and based on that information, he's depending on his information, he is dealing with the topics or dealing with the subjects. So it involves recognizing the existence of the problem. Means he can think of the problems, and he can think of the
Uh,
solutions, what can be the solutions
I
over
will
the
just
problem.
stop here for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can just, want to correlate with the, Dr. Ambedkar, thoughts and then the slogan, agitate,
yeah,
organize, and agitate. Educate is the first word, and that's the education here, or awareness.
Correct.
And just want to understand from you, if the Bahujan society was educated or aware, then how they are not able to differentiate between what is the truth and what is not a non-truth. The difference between truth and false. And then another thing we can say is that who is our friend and who is our enemy, who is harming us, who is given us this kind of slavery, and who is responsible for our all the sufferings. Because until now, 75 years of the constitution implementation, still we are suffering. Why we are suffering? Through the constitution, we should have been the welfare state. We should have been all the facility Bahujan Mul Nivasi should be having it. So how do you see this, but very quickly,
Yeah, basically what I said is that the education, taking education and implementing the knowledge that has been acquired through education in practicality in the field, that is not happening. That is why it is not as a true education. Education is only for what he is getting is only for individual benefit, but not for the social benefit. Because once a person is aware of and he has sufficient knowledge of the society, or of where he can get his basic rights, where he can get his overall family and societal rights. So he is knowing that one, but he is not implementing his thinking within the society. So whatever the knowledge he is having, he is not sharing with the society, or he is not making aware the society what are the whatever the problems are there, what can be the solutions of those problems. So if he is truly whatever knowledge he had acquired, he is implementing it in the society, sharing with the society, and making aware the society, then definitely these problems could have minimized. Or
there is another contradiction here, sir. There is another contradiction. If you look our ancestors, this Bahujan Mul Nivasi Mahamano, like if you take the Jyotiba Phule, or you take Gadge Baba, Sant Raidas, Sant Kabir, they didn't have a PhD. They didn't go to the Harvard. Many of them didn't have even a school education. Because there was no rights for the education. Okay, correct. But how how education? If you think in terms of there, then how these peoples, they solve the problems of the society, they solve the problems of the Bahujan Mul Nivasi, and they make them aware, and even they said, or even they tell that how to differentiate, how to find out that who is your enemies and who is your friend. So there is just some contradiction here. Do you want to say something?
Correct. Yeah, correct. Basically, this the concept of intellectual or professional person, that itself, it is not related with respect to education. If we are taking education, suppose there is one bachelor or masters or PhD holder person. It doesn't mean that he is more intelligent or he is having more knowledge than a common person, or a person, or a young student. Because young student he can analyze the problem and he can give easy solutions, and sometimes this PhD holder may not give the proper solution, because of that intellectualness is not related with the education. This intellectualness is related with a simple analyzing thinking. Basically, if a common man is analyzing the thing with respect to the historical aspects, or with respect to what is happening in the society, what is prevailing in the society, and he is correlating that one with, and he is getting the answers to each and every questions of him, then definitely that is having more weightage, or that is prevailing more in the society. And that's how our forefathers had fought when they came to know what is the basic problem of our society. So as you already told that when Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and Jyotiba Phule ji, they came to know that our personnel should think rationally, so that's why they focus more on education, so that people will think what is discrimination. People should think where they can get their rights, and what is the power of the unity, and if they are surviving individually, the individualness versus the social society as a group. When they make the society aware that by awareing the people or making knowledgeable the people how their rights can get how they can get their rights. So basically, here is that contradictions is not totally related with the educated people versus the common man people, because a common man people can solve the problem if it is more thinking in the rational thinking with respect to the problem. So it is basically thinking over the problems and thinking over the solutions. So it is not related with respect to the education. So true education means basically this thinking of the problem and where the solution lies. So if this is clear within every individual, and if he is propagating within the society that, but with respect to this, that
another thing, sir. Another thing here is, like, if you talk about the education system itself, we don't see that in our education system there is any indigenous people's history is given there. The history of the indigenous people are missing at all. So indigenous people, they do not know the true history, they are knowing the false history. And that's how, if they don't know their true history, and they cannot make their they cannot make the history. That is another statement of the Baba Sahib. And what I want to say here is that this just we are thinking about that. We are saying that this without this awareness or the awaken, this our indigenous people or the indigenous Bahujan society is blind. They are not able to see that what is the reasons, or what is the who has designed their problems, because the Bahujan Mul Nivasi problems are not God gifted. It's not coming from by nature. It's not something that nature has given them, but it's something the system has designed them to keep them slave. And and that's how the education system has been designed. The Brahminical system, we are getting educated, and our thought process is, I think, fully filled with the Brahminical system itself. So even the people are PhD or IIMs or going to the foreign countries, but the basic education, basic growth, everything seems like that they have been into the Brahminical system. They carry forward until the go wherever in the world, wherever in the other country. This was the first part of the discussion. The second part is that, and without organization it is weak. I just again I want to contradict here that without organization, I can see in India, I can go to the taluka, I can go to the district level, I can go to the state level. Everywhere, wherever you go, there is a there is organization of many caste, many classes, so many organizations are there. So how can we say that the Bahujan Mul Nivasi or indigenous people do not have the organization? They have lots of organization, and if they have a lot of organization, how they are weak? Let's just discuss more into detail.
Yeah, correct. So basically, these two things, the education awareness and the organization, these are linked basically. As you already said that the education, whatever system is there, it is a controlled system, and it is not benefiting the individual, every individual of the society or the last man of the society. So the people who want to remain supreme, they have developed their system so that the education system is within the control of them, and they can use for that. But definitely, after the our forefathers' site nets, there has been a solution over it, because Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and Jyotiba Phule ji and all our social forefathers, they had given the concept of organization. So what basically organization and education is related? Basically, with respect to education, we are getting very limited knowledge. As you already said, that it is a controlled system. So whatever the syllabus or whatever the system they are developed, they will develop based on their goal. So definitely, when it is well known that they are not going to do this thing, then definitely there should be some other way or other process or other system. And that's why the importance of social organizations came into picture. And Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Periyar ji, Shahu Maharaj, and everybody of our forefathers, they had given this particular concept that through the organization, the training which is not, we are not getting through the educational system or educational institutions, this can be imparted or this can be given through these social organizations training camps like cadre camps, and definitely they can be trained in what is required basically. So this is basically a tool based organization is specifically a tool what is denied in the educational system. So if whatever the system, whatever the education we are not getting through the imparted educational system, that training, our forefathers history, our cultural history, our root cause of our problems, how from for the thousands of years it is getting prevailed, and what can be the solutions over it, what can be the solutions in a democratic society, if we are really living, then what are the tools within the democratic society are there. These all trainings are taught basically in the social organizations, and BAMSEF is taking a prime role in this organization throughout India, not only in India, but it also is imparting its spreading its this particular requirements globally. So globally, it is giving trainings to the cadres. What means they are developing the analytical thinking of every individual within the Bhojan society, Bhojan Multivasi society people. That what is happening, how it is happening, why it is happening, and what are the solutions over it. Like they are running recently the campaign of BS4. So these such type of campaigns are basically meant to aware of our people, not only aware of the last man, but they are making people the trainers who are training, who are giving the training to the people. So these are ultimately the a sort of most intellectual of the society, and they are basically getting trained to govern the society. When they are giving the training, they are basically getting the training of governing the society. So once such type of class is developed, and definitely if such type of class is developed in all the fields of the society, whether it is social, whether it is political, whether it is educational, whether it is even
Again,
in police
sir,
force or military, everywhere this will get means such type of resources will create an impact. So that's why the education and the society organization, these are linked to each individual. And if
that's
unless and
okay,
until
sir. Linking, we understand that one, but I my question or the the subject line is that without organization it is weak, and the question was that we have thousands of organizations. Wherever you go, the indigenous Mulnivasi Bahujan has a thousands of organizations. Yeah, if thousands of organizations are there, then why the indigenous people are weak? Why they are organizationally weak? What is the reason behind that?
Yeah. So basically, if we analyze all these organizations, so basically all these organizations, they had developed for a very small and minimum goal, and that are again related with personal benefits or personal welfares. And Miss SST welfare organizations. So most of the organizations are OBC welfare organizations. So most of the organizations are meant for welfare of the individual or welfare of the employees. But if we see a society as a whole, Mulnivasi Bhojan society is constitutes of 85%. So 85% people. So objective should be oriented accordingly for the which should include the 85% people, the benefit of 85% people, the goal of 85% people, the awareness of 85% people, the power of 85% people, the ruling of 85% people. So everywhere when such type of organizations goals are there, objectives are there, then only it will get sustained, because problems are for of all the 85% people. It is not for one individual caste or one individual organization. So basically it is a problem of the entire society and Mulnivasi Bhojan society. So unless and until the goals are oriented with respect to that, the objective is not going to achieve. So though there are thousands of organizations with their own welfare goals, the ultimate objective of empowering this Mulnivasi Bhojan society will not get solved. So only organization which is BAMSEF, which is working for this particular
Again, just
objective.
before Vams, that I want to ask you something else. Yeah, just if you see that any work is done anywhere in the world, yeah, any work is done, even any organization, even any companies, they have the they have a labels. Yeah, so like there is a manager, under manager there is a some labels, then below that some labels. Are you saying that here there is a thousands of organizations? Yeah, but are they not interlinked with each other? Are they not having the umbrella or a mother organization? Means there is no any mother organization under which they are working? Means are you saying that they are working individually and
Correct.
so that is why their force is fragmented, the power is fragmented, the power is separated, this is not united. That is what you are saying. I didn't get the point. Can you
Yeah,
put?
correct. You are correct. I was about to say in that particular direction, because
Hmm.
basically these organizations, they are working for very limited goals, and they are not thinking as bigger goals. So bigger goals, which BAMSEF is already working, and BAMSEF is already working for the particular objective. So whatever the small goals are there, that small goals is a part of a bigger goal. So when the small goals are part of a bigger goals, all these small organizations, they should come under one bigger umbrella, which is working for their own means benefits only, because this organization, they are part and parcel of Mullivasi Bhojan society, and as a part of bigger goal, Mullivasi Bhojan, as far as the Mullivasi Bhojan society is considered, BAMSEF is already working. So these smaller goals, if they are working under the umbrella objectives, umbrella organization like BAMSEF, then definitely the unity and strength of the organization will increase, and what are the problems are there, the problems are also can get minimized, and that ultimately it can get solved also, because strength matters. If the strength is bigger and the strength is there in everywhere, then this will reflect in every field, whether it is a political
Okay.
field, whether it is a social field. So strength, whosoever is having a strength, it is going to rule in the democratic society. That's what we are seeing right now also. Right now
Okay.
also, the people who are having strength or organized the way they are working, they are ruling the society.
So power. You're saying that power lies in the organization, and
Correct.
the what you are trying to say is that, but the people or the thousands of organizations, if they want to find out the umbrella organization or the mother organizations, what should be the features of finding out this mother organization? What kind of, because everybody will be thinking that I am the best, I am the best, but out of the thousand of the organization, which organization could be the mother organizations? What could be the characteristic, or the how to find that mother organization? What should be parameters on which the people can find, and they can unite together? Can you put some lights on
Yeah,
that?
definitely. There are many parameters on which organization can be judged. The first and foremost is the continuity of the organization with respect to the goal. So we need to analyze that whatever the organizations are formed, so these organizations, whatever the objectives they are designed, these objectives are whatever the objectives they had defined, are they working toward that particular objective? Like a democratic setup is the most important parameter in any organization. So whether all the organizations which are formed, they are sticking to this democratic setup of the organization. They had a particular hierarchical network throughout the India, not only India but abroad. And there
Hmm.
is whether the uniformity of thoughts are produced, and it is filtered, it is passed on to the entire network. Whatever the thoughts are developed, whether it is passed to that one, and also whether it is controlled by an individual, or whether it is controlled by the organizational people, or the bodies that have been formed, to the governing bodies that are formed to control the society, control that particular organization. Also, whatever the current problems are there, or whatever the overall empowerment of the Mullivasi Bhojan people are there, whether that particular organizations are working for that particular objective. So these all are, there are many other
These
parameters,
are
but
the
these are the
parameters that you meant to say
main
that. Yeah,
important
what you,
parameters that
yeah,
one has to understand.
okay. If I summarize that, you said that the organization should be national level, working all over the India. Yeah. And then you said that it must have be functioning as a democratic function, must be controlled not by the individual, and must not be the dynasty kind of things, not hero worship. There should be a system of the governing body. And there is a Baba Sahib, very famous statement: the poor people must unite together, they must have a separate organization. Yeah. What does
Yeah.
it mean, the poor people must have a separate organization? Can you just in one liner or in a few sentences, if you can define it?
Yeah.
Poor people must unite together and must have a separate organization. Yeah,
See,
poor means what?
basically,
Is it like a indigenous and non-indigenous together, or you mean the only for the indigenous people? What?
Yeah, basically, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, in entire his writings and speeches, he clearly demarcated the beneficiary versus non-beneficiary people. So, if we
Yeah.
analyze with respect to that one, the beneficiaries are limited to 15% and non-beneficiaries are limited to 85%. So, with this clear demarcation, even Jyotiba Phuleji or all other forefathers, they had given the concept of Bahujan versus Alpajan. So Alpajan or these shorter people or 15% people are the people who had got benefited by this system, and 85% are people who are not got benefit of the society. So these poor people are basically these 85% people
Indigenous
who were demarcated, and they were not given the rights, any right within the system. So everybody has to work for the benefit of these poor people, benefit of this Multivasi Bhujan society people, and unless and until they educate, they organize, and then agitate for their rights through organization, then nothing is going to happen, or none of their problems are going to be resolved or solved. So ultimate solution or ultimate aim is organization. Without organization, none of their problems are going to be solved. So organizing under a big umbrella or big society with whatever the parameters just we discussed. So organizing this one and solving and agitating for their own problems through the help of this through this organization can be the only solution.
Okay, I think we have the constitution, we have the voting rights. Yeah, everybody has the voting rights, and as you are saying that indigenous people are the Bahujan, they are more than 85%. Yeah, so if they are Bahujan and if they are organized, yeah, they work under the umbrella organizations, and if they vote for the own people, if they vote for the only the indigenous people if vote for the indigenous people, 85% people if they vote for the indigenous people, I think they can change the system in within the 5 years, because every 5 years there is a elections. Yeah, so if the indigenous people they are aware, they are awakened, and they are united under the umbrella organizations, I feel that they should vote for their own people and they can make their own government and they should solve their problem. I think that could be the another way of, I think
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. Basically, not only the political, but we have to think in every aspect. Policy making, policy implementing, and if the policy is not being implemented, then raising a voice against the already democratic setup as its system. So developing people in all the fields, in the field of policy makers,
judiciary,
policy
media.
Yeah, correct. Third or fourth pole of the democratic setup. In all the four four poles of the democratic setup, if we have our people, then nothing is like that.
Okay, so you said that the four pillars of the democracy, like judiciary, executive, legislature, and the media, all this, if the Bahujan Mulnivasi will come into the adequate representation, more than the 85%, there should not be any problem in the country, and I think everything will be okay. I think that's what is your conclusion. Sir, any message you want to give, one-liner message? We will end of the program here. We are end of the time.
Yeah. Message in the sense, basically whatever we discussed, the only two aims we should follow in our life. First is educating in the sense of the social aspect. Then making aware whatever we had educated, whatever we had got the information, whatever we had got the knowledge, sharing that particular knowledge to the society, making aware the society whatever we had aware, and ultimately organize the society, the aware society, whatever the awareness has been brought with the society, organize the particular society and work for how our own rights can be achieved, or can be our own problems can be achieved with the help of or through the help of this organization. So in this particular aspect we are working awareness, and organizing. So these two aspects will give a very clear picture and very clear message to resolve any of our problems.
Thank you so much, sir. And at the end, you said the educate and only educate, organize and only organize. These two things you said will resolve the everything, I think. So thank you so much, sir, taking the so valuable time and coming to MNT News Network, and you have discussed in depth in half an hour. Thank you so much. We will connect again for another topic, any other topic in the future. Thank you so much, sir. Jai Bhim, Jai Mul Nivasi,
Thank you.
Jai Samvidhan, Jai
Thank
Bharat.
you very much for inviting me. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat.
Friends, you watch this today, this discussion, very important discussion, and how we can remove our, problems, all the problems. So please spread this, this discussion in your society, in your family and friends. Do share this one as much as possible, to the many, and let the all the Mulnivasi indigenous people, 85%, to get awakened and united. Thank you so much. Jai Bhim, Jai Mul Nivasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat.